Do you ever wonder about how long your rabbits will be able to breed and when you're going to need to replace them? That's what we're going to discuss in today's video and get it all cleared up for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another slightly rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, deck, garage, or even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. Today we're going to talk about how long can you expect your rabbits to breed for. It's a pretty quick, simple video to discuss. Not seeing the rabbits behind me because I got the tarps pulled down. It's a little cold out today. The wind's blowing, so I want to give them a wind block here. So I've got the tarps all pulled out over the front of the cages, but that's okay. We can still talk about it. Pretty simple answer here. Generally, your doe rabbits are going to be good for 4 to 5 years, somewhere right around in there. You may get a little bit longer out of them, may get up to 6 years out of them, but usually around 4 to 5 years is about as long as they're going to produce, and then they're going to quit producing at that point. Your buck rabbits can go a little bit longer, usually 5 to 6 years out of a buck before they need to be retired and they're done producing. Now, there are several factors that can play into that. You may not get as much out of your does or your bucks, just depending on several different factors. Sorry, my hands are cold. Got to stick them in my pockets for a minute to warm them up. But generally speaking, that's about what you can expect out of your rabbits. Now, what do you do with your rabbits when they're done breeding? You can do whatever you want with them. You can go ahead and process them and eat them at that point. I personally don't do that. Something doesn't seem right about that to me. If I've had that rabbit for 4 or 5 years and it's done producing, I don't eat it. What I do is I find somebody on Craigslist that wants a pet rabbit, and I try to give them away. I just give away free rabbits, give them to somebody, let them care for them. If they've got a decent temperament to them at all. If they don't have a decent temperament to them, I still let somebody know, hey, this rabbit's kind of grumpy, but you never know. There's people out there that will take rabbits that they just want to raise a rabbit, they just want to have a rabbit around. So that's generally what I do, and I can usually get rid of them pretty easily that way. I will tell you, if you do decide to process them, you're going to be a little bit surprised about how hard they are to skin. That would be the only time that I would say that you might want to keep those skins, tan them out, because they are an older rabbit at that point. I get questions a lot about tanning skins and keeping the fur. And honestly, when you're processing for meat at 8 weeks, 12 weeks old, those skins are awful thin. They're really not good for anything except for maybe craft purposes. But you get your older rabbits, especially in the wintertime when they've got a full winter coat, those skins can be a little bit more valuable. They're a little bit tougher. If you tan them out well, then you can use those for clothing, for blankets, for all kinds of different things if you wanted to. They're a little bit more of a quality fur. So if you did want to process your rabbits, that would be the time that you would think about maybe saving the skins and doing something with them. All right, so how do you know when your rabbit is done producing? Honestly, you just watch the rabbits. I mean, you're going to be able to tell. If you start having a rabbit that's produced really good, high number litters, or high litter counts, 8, 9, 10 babies at a time, and suddenly they're producing 3 or 4 babies at a time, multiple litters in a row, that's a good sign that they're about done. It's time to look for a replacement for that rabbit. And it's probably going to be your doe that is the cause of that. Now, if you just suddenly have, like, all of a sudden your does are not getting pregnant, they're not having babies at all, well, it could be your buck. But generally speaking, when your buck's done, he's just going to stop being interested in the females, so to speak. Put that a little bit easy, not quite so bluntly. Yeah, I think you get what I'm talking about there. He's not going to go through the act of mating with the females. And that's how you're going to know maybe it's time. If he's 5, 6 years old, 4.5 to 6 years old, somewhere right around in there, and he just suddenly doesn't want to breed anymore, and he's not overweight, he's going to start slowing down at that point, then that may mean he's done breeding at that point, and it's time to look for a new replacement male. All right, well, that's a pretty quick, easy topic to discuss, but I've had a few questions about it in the comments lately. I know I've talked about it in video before, but figured it was time to go ahead and readdress it for all you new subscribers and new viewers out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, God bless.